So we've got some stuff that we need to talk about, and involves Hazbin Hotel. Hi, I'm the all-powerful one, Max King here, and I'm here to talk about Michael Morningstar. Yes, technically Adam is the head, or was the head of the Exorcists, but the de facto creator of the Exorcists is technically Michael Morningstar. After after a battle between Lucifer and Michael, which then banished Lucifer to hell. Now, would it be cool to see him in season 3? Absolutely. It'd be so fucking cool. Because imagine the dynamic between him and Lute. Where Abel is like kind of the pussy of everything. I just don't mind my language. But where he's like the scaredy cat and Lute's kind of like, being, other than Abel at the end of season 2, kind of growing into his own, having a backbone, but you already know that was like a one-time thing because Abel is just Abel. Plus he's played by Patrick, leader of Fall Out Boy, so that's pretty sick. But even though Abel is the head of the Exorcist now, technically, apparently my cat wanted to be in the video. So, with Abel being technically the head of the Exorcist, Michael is the, de facto captain. He is the creator of the Exorcists. If you also go back and watch some old... Cat wanted to be annoying again. Anyway, with Michael being the creator of the Exorcists, the dynamic between him and Luke could be that Abel is, yes, he's the good conscience. Michael is more the one to be like, hey, stick to your duty, carry out your mission, and finish what Adam started. And yes, and you can have plenty of arguments between Michael and Lucifer, having that dynamic play out, and maybe eventually at the end of season 3, you can have Michael and Lucifer, talk it out and become brothers again. Having Lucifer kind of fix those bridges. And also, again, with Lilith coming in, there could be more with Lilith and Michael. So there's a lot you can do with Michael Morningstar. But especially with him also being a brother to Lucifer, on top of Azrael being the brother too, because technically in the Hazbin Hotel, and I think in biblical as well, don't quote me, Lucifer has 2 brothers, and it's Michael and Azrael. Azrael is, of course, the archangel of death. Michael is the commander-in-chief of heaven's armies. So he is basically the creator and head of the Exorcists. Well, he's the commander-in-chief, so he's, God probably created the Exorcists, but also the Seraphim creating the Exorcist. There's a whole thing behind it that I'm not going to get too much into, because until more details come out, I'm not going to go into, the theory mode, because there are other people who do that. I'm just someone who nerd rants and has fun. So, Michael being the commander-in-chief of Heaven's armies, you can have, and him being the seven heavenly virtues, he's much more calm. He's much more calm, and he would be looked at as maybe a good guy in Hazbin Hotel, or Hell of a Boss if you really want to go there. but where obviously Azrael is probably the scheming, cunning, like, serious, because he is the Archangel of Death. Michael's much more witty. He's much more like he's fearless, but he's also just like depressed. Like he's just sick and tired of it. And then again, you can just have Lute and him just kind of like have like Abel being like the angel on her shoulder along with Michael, kind of just trying to get her more motivated. You can have you can have that dynamic between Abel, where Abel is, yes, he's the good, the he's the head of the Exorcist, but Michael is the commander in chief. So obviously you have Abel and Michael, who can come together and kind of get Lute's head on straight, where you can have Azrael kind of being that little voice of being like, you have that little voice of being like, you think you're worth shit, no, you're not. And then you can have Michael being like, retake the oath of being an exorcist and just be better and continue your mission. Where Abel, where of course with Seraphim and Emily being are against the heaven and everything, or sorry, are against killing the sinners, especially at the end with Emily helping hell with that whole machine and the song. Incredible song, by the way. My cat's being annoying again. But you can have more. And then you can go into more detail on the creation of the Exorcists, with Baggy, Lute, that whole rivalry, along with Michael and Abel, or if you want to bring back Alex Brightman as Adam, you can have the spirit of Adam, that little vision of Adam in Luke's head, like be like, don't listen to Abel, he's a fucking idiot, and then you can have, Michael, who is the commander-in-chief of of Heaven's Armies and the Exorcists. You can have him kind of get through her head to being like, hey, this is the way things are going to go. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And then you can, in the real, just being like that, even though he's the Archangel of Death, you can have like the angel on your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder type thing, where, Azrael, he's like trying to put her down and, tell her that you need to continue killing sinners because he's so against Charlie and Hazbin Hotel and Lucifer. And then you have Michael being like, hey, this is, be like, hey, I think it's about time that we kind of just, stop and reevaluate. And then again, you can have Michael and Lucifer, talk it out and, come to an agreement about heaven and hell and the exorcists. So I think it would be just a cool concept for Hazbin Hotel to kind of go into detail with the characters, between Michael, Azrael, Abel, Lute, and then you can have like fun little interactions because he is the older brother of Lucifer, and also Charlie's uncle. On top of Azrael, you can have fun little witty shit between Lucifer and Azrael, and then you can just have like that brotherly, older brother, middle brother kind of dynamic between Michael and Lucifer, and also Michael supporting Charlie, where Azrael is completely against it. If you just bring in like those two characters, and you can just go fucking far with them. You can do anything you want. And it's because like a lot of the time you can like just think about it as like, oh shit, Azrael's an asshole, and then you can have like Michael being the cool one, along with Lucifer. Lucifer's more laid back, but he's like up to doing anything for Charlie, where Michael's more supportive, where Azrael is just completely like, no, fuck the hotel, fuck redemption, continue your fucking mission and fucking kill everything, you know? And I just think like seeing that dynamic between like the three brothers, Azrael, Lucifer, and Michael would just be fucking fantastic. And especially like Charlie and Lilith just kind of just being, kind of just reuniting and just being completely like, it'd just be cool. It'd be just fucking cool. And I would be totally accepting of all of it, because just seeing how these characters would play out on screen, and especially like voice acting, like if you get like a voice actor that like is like a Broadway star, or if you want to like go into like mainstream, like you get like let's say from Michael you can get like Brandon Urie, like any other bands, whereas Azrael you can go more of the emo approach, or more of the rock, with like Skillet, Five Finger Death Punch, a bunch of others. You can just go far with these characters, and especially with these, you can just fucking just go nuts, and it'd be amazing. I would lose my mind if I saw these two if I saw these two characters on screen, and I just think it would just be cool. It would just be an awesome concept for Hazbin Hotel, and just to draw out these characters more, and especially like with Lilith, like maybe it wasn't even something like, maybe like the thing that Luke was talking about with Lilith was that it was between Lilith and Michael instead of Lilith and Adam. So, again, you could just kind of just go far with these characters, and I would just be super entertained and just love every single moment of it, and especially a few laughs out of the characters, with Michael and Lucifer, and especially you can have like, little smart ass moments with fucking Azrael and Michael. It'd just be fun. That's pretty much all it would be. It would just be really, really fun, just to kind of get like these characters' dynamics, especially like the three brothers being like, being like, hey, fuck you, fuck you too, just like a little fun, quirky stuff that would just entertain the audience, and that's pretty much all it would be. It's just like a bunch of, it would just be entertainment. And don't worry about the light, I'm going to fix that later. But yeah, it would just be fun. That's all it'd be. It's just fun. It's pretty much all it, like, that's pretty much all it is. It's just like, you can just have a complete blast with the cast, and just have them just do their whole thing, do their own thing, obviously follow the script, because duh, but like tell a very compelling story like they did in season 2, where Fox was a complete and total dickhead. And of course you also had season 1 with Adam being a dickhead. So, and especially like if you want to bring in a villain for season, because honestly, I think for season 3, I think we're getting Alistair as a villain, and that'll lead to Alistair's redemption, maybe, but only time will tell, and only Vivzy knows. So, Vivzy Pop, I love your show. I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if you watch this. Probably won't, and that's fine. But love your show. Can't wait to see what you do. And subscribe today to be a part of the all-powerful kingdom. So, love you all, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.